I met Kwame through a dear friend of mine in my third year at the university. He was living abroad, but he came to visit his parents during the festive season. We started a long-distance relationship after he went back. He took care of my financial needs and sometimes extended his generosity to my family. After schooling, we got married and I later went to join him abroad. I furthered my education through his sponsorship and everything was going well. One day, his father, who is my father-in-law, called to tell us about some plots of land at a very good location in Ghana that were up for sale. He advised that we acquire them and start a building project in Ghana. We thought it was a good investment, so we sent him the required money. We also sent some monies for documentation of the land and commencement of the building project. Things, however, started to fall apart when my hubby's business partner betrayed him and we lost a huge sum of money. We were strategizing on how to get back on our feet. Then the pandemic hit. The company my hubby was working for at the time was downsizing due to the effects of COVID-19 and sadly, they had to let him go. I was working then, so I took care of everything at home. One morning, I woke up feeling very sick and decided to take a pregnancy test, which came out positive. This pregnancy was very different from previous ones in that it came with severe morning sickness. I couldn't stomach anything and this made me anemic and very weak. Hence, I had to quit my job. We started surviving on our savings with the hope that my hubby would get another job soon, but all his efforts to get one were futile. When push came to shove, we decided to return home with the money we had left and start life afresh. My father-in-law tried to discourage us from coming back. He said the country's economy is very bad and we are better off abroad. Our minds were, however, made up since bills kept piling up with no income to offset them. When we got back and it was time for my father-in-law to show us our property, he started acting funny and giving excuses that didn't make any sense to us. To cut a long story short, he had squandered all the money. There was no building, not even a small piece of land in our name. That was when it dawned on us that he had forged and sent fake documents to us while we were away. I was devastated. I could not believe that the man whom I loved so much and taken as my own father could do this to us. I cried until there was no more tears to shed. After the birth of our child, we decided to leave the matter because there was no way my father-in-law could pay the monies back. Since we got back, my hubby has been trying to get a job, but to no avail. He even tried to get teaching jobs, but when these schools see his CV, they tell him he is overqualified for the role and they cannot hire him. I remember one of the school owners calling him to inquire why someone with his level of education who had his tertiary education abroad would submit a CV in a primary school. After much explanation, she said he would hear from them and that was all. We never heard back from them. I never imagined that I would live to see a day where food to eat would be a problem for me and my family. Most times I pray to God to send help to us so that we can re-establish. One day, as I was reminiscing about life, where we used to be and where we are now, I became so overwhelmed with the whole situation and broke down in tears. My son walked into the kitchen and saw me crying. My hubby heard him and rushed to where I was sitting. As I lifted my head, our eyes met and I could see tears forming in his eyes as I felt the pain in his heart. I have to be strong for him, I told myself. Kwame is good, God-fearing and selfless man who has made a lot of sacrifices for me and the kids. He is 7 years older than me, yet he doesn't do anything without consulting me first. Whenever there is the need for us to agree on something, he would explain why he feels his suggestions are good and also allow me to bring mine with reasons as well. He never imposes his will on me. He treats me with so much love and respect, and I never take it for granted. Don't get it wrong. We have our own misunderstandings like every other couple. However, Kwame would never go to sleep if there is an unresolved matter between us, even if it takes him to apologize for peace to to reign in our home, he would gladly do it. He helped me with house chores. He would wash the dishes while I do the laundry. He would take care of his kids while I cook. He is a real man. I am sharing my story with the hopes that someone out there will be the angel that we need at this time, and also for people to be careful when dealing with family members. Our situation wouldn't be so bad if his own father hadn't squandered his money.